Success is rarely loud. It doesn't post updates, it doesn't ask for likes, and it doesn't seek applause. What if I told you that some of the most powerful habits of successful people are things they never talk about? Today, I'm going to reveal 9 habits that silently separate the extraordinary from the ordinary, and these are the habits that can change your life if you decide to adopt them. Success is not about flashy cars, big houses, or the latest gadgets. It's about what you do when no one is watching. The first habit is prioritizing health without showing it off. You won't see successful people taking selfies in the gym or bragging about their diet plans. They know that physical strength fuels mental clarity, and mental clarity fuels action. They wake up early, move their bodies, and take care of themselves because they understand that without health, all the wealth in the world is meaningless. The second habit is constant learning and reflection. They are readers, listeners, and thinkers. Every book they read, every podcast they listen to, and every mistake they make is an opportunity to grow. They don't brag about it because they know true knowledge is earned quietly and applied effectively, not showcased publicly. This habit ensures they are always prepared for opportunities that others might miss. Next, setting boundaries and protecting their time. Successful people are selective with their time. They say no when it doesn't serve their goals and focus deeply when it does. They understand that time is the most valuable currency, and they refuse to spend it on distractions or meaningless obligations. This is why they achieve so much while many others remain busy but stagnant. The fourth habit is failing in private and learning silently. Nobody wakes up successful. Every success story you admire has chapters of struggle, mistakes, and failures. What sets the successful apart is how they handle failure. They study it, learn from it, and move forward without broadcasting every setback. This private perseverance builds resilience that public recognition alone cannot create. Fifth, investing in relationships, not just networking. They know that true support comes from meaningful connections, not superficial contacts. They mentor, listen, and provide value without expecting immediate returns. These deep relationships create opportunities, provide guidance, and enrich life in ways money can't buy. Sixth, practicing gratitude and self-awareness daily. They pause to reflect on their achievements and shortcomings. They celebrate small wins, acknowledge progress, and identify areas to improve. This daily habit of reflection keeps them grounded, focused, and emotionally intelligent, making them better leaders and decision makers. Seventh, embracing solitude for creativity and clarity. They spend time alone, thinking deeply and planning intentionally. This solitude allows them to innovate, solve problems, and reconnect with their purpose without external noise influencing their direction. Eighth, taking calculated risks quietly. They act decisively on opportunities others fear, but they don't broadcast every venture. They analyze, prepare, and then step boldly, understanding that risk is part of growth, and growth often comes quietly before it's visible to the world. Ninth, practicing discipline in unseen moments. Success isn't built in front of an audience. It's built in the 5 a.m. mornings, the focused work sessions, the consistent routines, and the choices made when no one is watching. Discipline creates results over time, and this is the invisible engine behind every accomplishment you admire. These 9 habits are not flashy or glamorous, but they are powerful. They require patience, consistency, and humility. If you start applying even a few of them in your life today, you will begin to see transformation. Remember, success is a silent craft. It's what you do when no one is looking that determines your future. Successful people understand that the foundation of every achievement begins with their health. Yet this is one of the most overlooked aspects of success in society. While most people chase recognition, wealth, or titles, truly successful individuals know that nothing can be sustained without a body and mind capable of performing at high levels. They don't announce their morning workouts on social media or post pictures of green smoothies because they understand that the benefits of these habits are internal, not external. health is a private investment in themselves, one that pays dividends in focus, energy, and longevity. They wake up early, not for likes or applause, but to prepare their mind and body for the challenges of the day. Exercise is not just about physical appearance, it is about resilience, discipline, and creating the mental sharpness necessary to make complex decisions under pressure. The act of taking care of their body reflects a respect for themselves and their mission. They know that consistent physical activity strengthens their willpower in other areas of life. When the body is conditioned to endure, the mind becomes conditioned to persevere. Sleep and recovery are treated with equal seriousness. While others brag about hustle culture and sleeping only a few hours a night, successful people understand that optimal performance requires adequate rest. They do not see sleep as wasted time, but as an essential period where the body heals and the brain consolidates information. Missing out on sleep may give temporary gains, but over time it leads to mistakes, burnout, and stagnation. They understand that their energy is finite, and how they manage it directly impacts their productivity and decision-making. Their nutrition is another critical yet silent habit. Instead of following trendy diets for attention, they focus on fueling their bodies efficiently. They know that proper nutrition enhances clarity, stabilizes mood, and improves overall performance. Meals are chosen strategically, not for social approval, but to sustain energy levels, strengthen immunity, and support longevity. Small daily choices, from drinking enough water to avoiding excessive sugar, compound over time, providing the stamina needed to handle the demands of leadership and high-stakes challenges. Mental health is equally prioritized, though equally private. They understand that a stressed or unbalanced mind undermines everything else. Meditation, journaling, or even quiet reflection are common practices. They don't advertise these habits because the results are not external but deeply internal. These routines allow them to reset, focus, and remain composed in situations where others panic or react emotionally. Mental clarity enhances strategic thinking, problem solving, and creativity, all crucial elements for sustained success. Even their social behaviors reflect this health-conscious mindset. They avoid environments and people that drain energy unnecessarily. They understand that both physical and emotional health are interconnected, and that maintaining boundaries is an act of self-preservation. Choosing to spend time with those who inspire, motivate, or challenge them constructively is part of the hidden discipline that fuels their success. What makes this habit powerful is its invisibility. Unlike networking or public achievements, the effort they put into health doesn't earn applause, yet it underpins every visible success. It is the silent engine behind the long hours, the sharp focus, the creative breakthroughs, and the consistent high performance that defines their lives. Without this foundation, any skill, talent, or opportunity would be unsustainable. This habit also teaches patience and delayed gratification. Eating right, exercising, and resting properly do not provide instant rewards. Results accumulate over months and years, mirroring the kind of persistence required in professional and personal growth. Moreover, prioritizing health without public recognition reinforces humility and self-discipline. They do not need external validation because their rewards are felt internally: more energy, sharper focus, emotional resilience, and the confidence that comes from knowing they are performing at their best. This internal strength allows them to tackle risks, make better decisions, and inspire others by example rather than spectacle. By quietly maintaining their health, they ensure that their mind and body are always prepared for opportunity, challenge, or crisis, giving them a competitive edge that is invisible to those who only see external success. Ultimately, this habit is not about vanity, nor is it about showing off. It is about respecting the one tool that enables all other forms of achievement, the self. Every successful person who practices this understands that the attention they avoid is far outweighed by the control, energy, and longevity they gain. Their commitment to health creates a ripple effect in every area of life, from sharper thinking and better emotional regulation to higher productivity and resilience. It is a habit built on foresight, discipline, and quiet consistency, and though few people talk about it, it is the cornerstone upon which the rest of their success is built. After establishing a strong foundation of health, successful people recognize that the mind, like the body, requires constant training and nourishment. They understand that physical vitality without intellectual and emotional growth can lead to stagnation. Just as they invest silently in their bodies, they invest silently in their minds. Reading, learning, and reflecting are not casual hobbies for them. They are deliberate habits that shape their decisions, expand their perspective, and prepare them for challenges that others cannot foresee. They do not pursue knowledge for show or recognition, nor do they flaunt every book they finish or every podcast they listen to. Instead, they consume information purposefully, seeking to apply it meaningfully in their lives. The act of learning becomes a tool for empowerment, a quiet practice that compounds over time. Just like the early morning workouts that strengthen their body, they schedule time for reading, not merely to fill idle moments, but to challenge their thinking and expand their understanding of the world. Books, articles, research papers, and even biographies of other successful people serve as blueprints and warnings. Through these readings, they learn from the mistakes and victories of others, avoiding pitfalls and adopting strategies proven to work. Reflection transforms this passive intake of knowledge into active insight. They pause regularly to ask themselves, what did I learn today? How can I apply this knowledge to my life, my career, or my relationships? This process of introspection creates mental clarity and enhances problem-solving skills, allowing them to approach challenges with informed confidence rather than guesswork. Continuous learning is often paired with adaptability. While others resist change and cling to outdated methods, successful people constantly update their knowledge, skills, and perspectives. They are aware that the world evolves rapidly, and yesterday's success strategies may not work tomorrow. By learning in silence, they stay ahead of the curve, equipping themselves with the tools to seize opportunities before others even recognize them. Their curiosity is disciplined. It is guided by purpose rather than distraction. Every piece of information is filtered through a lens of practicality. Will this knowledge enhance my decision-making, improve my relationships, or advance my goals? If the answer is yes, they absorb it deeply. If not, they let it go. Reflection is the glue that binds learning to action. After acquiring knowledge, they meditate on its implications, analyze their own experiences, and ask critical questions. This reflection is not superficial. It involves honesty and self-awareness, admitting where they fell short, acknowledging where they succeeded, and understanding the factors that influence the outcomes. It is through this reflective practice that learning becomes wisdom, allowing them to navigate complex situations with calm, strategic thinking. Unlike those who react impulsively, successful individuals act deliberately, armed with insight cultivated from constant study and reflection. Importantly, this habit strengthens their emotional intelligence as well. Exposure to diverse ideas and perspectives fosters empathy, helping them understand human behavior and communication. They learn not only about strategies and systems, but about people, their motivations, fears, and desires. This understanding allows them to build meaningful relationships, communicate effectively, and lead with influence rather than authority. It also reinforces resilience. By learning from failures and analyzing setbacks, they transform mistakes into lessons, reducing the fear of failure that holds others back. Reading and reflection also support creativity. Just as physical exercise strengthens the body, intellectual stimulation strengthens the mind's capacity to generate innovative solutions. Successful people regularly challenge themselves with new ideas, unconventional perspectives, and problem-solving exercises. They experiment mentally, envision scenarios, and imagine possibilities beyond the obvious. This habit fuels originality, allowing them to approach their work and personal lives with fresh thinking, distinguishing themselves from those who rely solely on routine or imitation. Another crucial aspect is consistency. Just as they maintain a disciplined fitness routine, they maintain a disciplined learning routine. Even small, incremental gains each day accumulate into profound expertise over time. The quiet, uncelebrated hours spent reading, listening, and reflecting may go unnoticed by others, but they compound into sharper judgment, better decision-making, and the ability to anticipate challenges before they arise. The combination of health and knowledge creates a synergy. Energy fuels the mind, and wisdom directs energy toward meaningful action. By making learning a constant, quiet habit, successful people build a life of depth rather than surface-level achievement. They understand that real success is not just about physical stamina, financial gain, or public recognition. It is about being prepared, informed, and aware. They connect the care they take of their body with the care they take of their mind, forming a foundation that is unshakable. Their knowledge becomes power not because it is displayed, but because it is internalized and applied. In silence, they transform information into insight, insight into strategy, and strategy into results that speak for themselves, creating a life where every decision, every action, and every opportunity is amplified by the unseen strength of constant learning and reflection. After mastering their health and investing deeply in their mind through constant learning and reflection, successful people understand that their most valuable resource is not money, influence, or talent. It is time. They recognize that time is finite, irreversible, and unforgiving, and they guard it with the same discipline they use to care for their body and mind. This habit of setting boundaries is not about arrogance or selfishness. It is about clarity, focus, and respect for the life they are trying to build. They know that without protecting their time, all the energy they cultivate through health and all the knowledge they acquire through learning can be wasted on distractions, obligations, or people who do not contribute to their growth. Successful individuals are deliberate in how they allocate every hour of their day. They categorize activities into what truly matters and what only seems urgent. They distinguish between being busy and being productive, understanding that constant activity does not equal progress. Meetings without purpose, social obligations that drain energy, and tasks that do not align with their priorities are evaluated critically and often eliminated. They politely, firmly, or strategically say no to requests that do not serve their vision, knowing that each refusal creates space for what truly matters. In doing so, they protect their energy and maintain the momentum necessary to achieve long-term goals. Setting boundaries extends beyond professional life into personal interactions. Successful people are aware that not everyone's opinion or demand requires their attention. They create mental and emotional space to focus on their goals and self-improvement. They do not react impulsively to criticism or societal pressure. Instead, they filter feedback carefully, keeping what is constructive and discarding what is irrelevant or negative. This emotional boundary ensures that their focus remains intact, avoiding the common trap of distraction or discouragement that affects so many people. Time protection is also reflected in their routines and habits. They plan their days with intention, blocking hours for deep work, learning, reflection, and rest. Multitasking is minimized because they understand that scattered attention dilutes quality and slows progress. Even small, consistent practices, such as dedicating the first hour of the day to their highest priority work or reviewing weekly goals, compound into significant results over time. By controlling their schedule, they create predictability in a world that is often chaotic, which allows them to respond to unexpected challenges without losing focus on their objectives. They are careful with the company they keep because the people around them impact how they use their time and energy. Successful individuals surround themselves with those who uplift, inspire, or challenge them constructively. Relationships that are toxic, draining, or unaligned with their purpose are consciously limited. They understand that protecting time includes protecting their attention from distractions and influences that may derail progress. This selective approach to relationships ensures that every interaction contributes positively to their growth rather than depleting their resources. The habit of protecting time also requires discipline in technology and social media. Successful people do not allow constant notifications, entertainment, or digital noise to fracture their attention. They create boundaries around when and how they engage with devices, using tools like focus sessions, limited screen time, or designated offline periods. By controlling these small, seemingly mundane aspects of life, they gain hours of uninterrupted focus that others lose without realizing it. These hours become opportunities to execute meaningful work, think strategically, or rest intentionally, building a compounding advantage over time. This habit of boundary setting is deeply connected to their previous practices of health and learning. A strong body provides the energy to protect and prioritize time. A sharp mind ensures that they identify what is valuable and what is not. Without boundaries, even energy and knowledge can be misdirected toward unproductive or superficial tasks. By controlling their time, they ensure that their days align with their long-term vision, reinforcing the other invisible habits that contribute to their success. Moreover, this practice builds resilience and self-respect. Each time they say no to a distraction or an unimportant demand, they strengthen their ability to focus on what truly matters. It also cultivates a sense of ownership over their life, reducing dependency on external validation. They do not wait for permission to protect their priorities. They act decisively because they understand that their time is the most valuable asset they possess. This discipline transforms their potential into action and prevents burnout by allowing them to invest in what is meaningful while avoiding unnecessary stress. Ultimately, setting boundaries and protecting time is a silent yet powerful habit that magnifies all other efforts. The health they maintain fuels their energy to manage time effectively. The knowledge they acquire through learning and reflection guides how they spend each moment. By controlling what enters their day, they maximize productivity, focus, and fulfillment. This habit is rarely visible to the outside world, yet it shapes the trajectory of their success in ways that public achievements cannot. It is the invisible framework upon which their productivity, creativity, and sustained growth are built, allowing them to live deliberately, achieve consistently, and maintain balance even amidst life's demands. After establishing a strong foundation through health, continuous learning, and disciplined time management, successful people understand that failure is an inevitable part of growth, yet it is handled quietly and strategically. They do not seek attention when they stumble. They do not post about setbacks or dramatize mistakes because they recognize that failure, when processed correctly, is a private teacher rather than a public spectacle. While others fear failure and let it define them, successful people embrace it as a crucial feedback mechanism that refines their skills, sharpens their judgment, and strengthens their resilience. They know that public recognition or applause is temporary, but the lessons drawn from failure are permanent and shape the trajectory of their future success. Each failure is analyzed, dissected, and transformed into actionable insight, ensuring that their next attempt is smarter, more calculated, and closer to success. They fail silently because they understand the value of perception. Publicly visible failures can be distracting, misinterpreted, or even demotivating if broadcasted. By keeping failure private, they maintain focus and control over the narrative of their life. This privacy allows them to recover without external pressure, internalize lessons, and make necessary adjustments without shame or fear of judgment. It also fosters humility. Successful people know that no achievement is permanent and that every setback is a reminder to remain grounded and vigilant. The discipline of failing quietly mirrors the discipline they apply to health, learning, and time management. Just as they exercise consistently without posting selfies or dedicate hours to reading without seeking recognition, they treat failure as a tool for self-improvement, not a performance for others. Successful individuals approach failure methodically. They assess what went wrong, identify variables within their control, and separate them from external circumstances beyond their influence. They ask difficult questions. Did I plan adequately? Did I act too quickly? Did I overestimate my understanding? Did I ignore feedback or overlook critical details? These questions are not rhetorical. They guide action and prevent repetition of the same mistakes. They document these lessons, integrate them into strategies, and apply them incrementally, ensuring that every misstep becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This approach transforms failure from an emotional setback into a cognitive advantage. Learning in silence also strengthens emotional resilience. By handling setbacks privately, successful people cultivate patience, persistence, and self-confidence that is independent of approval from others. They understand that temporary discomfort or disappointment is part of the growth process, and they refuse to let short-term setbacks dictate long-term decisions. This mental fortitude allows them to take calculated risks, innovate, and pursue ambitious goals without being paralyzed by fear of failure or external judgment. They see failure as temporary, knowledge as permanent, and effort as the bridge between the two. This habit is deeply interconnected with their previous practices. A healthy body provides the energy to persist through failure, while a sharp mind, honed by constant learning, enables them to analyze and extract valuable lessons. Their disciplined time management ensures that failure does not derail progress because they have built routines and boundaries that protect their focus. In this way, failing quietly is not passive. It is strategic, intentional, and a natural extension of the systems they have already created in their lives. Another critical aspect is the ability to normalize failure. Successful people understand that mistakes are universal. They do not discriminate based on talent, experience, or intelligence. By accepting this reality, they reduce the emotional burden of failure and maintain confidence in their long-term vision. They understand that the most visible successes are often the result of countless unseen failures, and by embracing this process privately, they prepare themselves to navigate challenges that others would avoid or fear. This mindset allows them to experiment, innovate, and push boundaries because failure is no longer a threat, it is part of the learning curve. Failing in private also reinforces humility and self-reliance. They do not depend on external validation to confirm their progress or worth. Instead, they focus on internal metrics, lessons learned, skills improved, and strategies refined. This self-directed approach allows them to iterate faster, adapt more effectively, and develop a sense of control over outcomes that is independent of external circumstances. Over time, this quiet perseverance compounds, resulting in a resilience and competence that is evident in their actions rather than words. Ultimately, failing in private and learning in silence is a habit that amplifies all other invisible practices. It connects seamlessly with health, learning, and time management by ensuring that energy, knowledge, and focus are applied intelligently, even in the face of setbacks. While the world often admires only visible achievements, the strength to recover, adapt, and grow quietly behind the scenes is what truly separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. It is a habit built on patience, reflection, and courage, and though it is seldom discussed, it is one of the most powerful drivers of long-term success.